Let's rock.
It's time for the nerd shit in the dark. Halloween special.
Cue the music.
Cue the music. What's going on, everybody?
How's it
This
going?
is your host, Chase, the Chaz Screepek,
And Braden, the Brad Neilster, and
Spooky Sam and
Killer Kieren.
Killing Killer.
Krillin's on the podcast this week.
Goku.
You sure that's big enough to krill me?
Very nice. Love it. Yeah, and this is the shittiest podcast on the internet, Nerd Shit in the Dark.
The shittiest
and,
out there.
Yeah, we're here to do our Halloween special, and we brought the spooky crew with us.
Yep. We got a few people here.
We have a full house today for this episode.
Yep,
So you're gonna
Kaylee's
hear
here.
some voices. Yeah.
Yeah, she could chime in as well.
Miranda is floating around somewhere. She'll chime in from time to time, but yeah, we like to
It's
get
a haunted house full of
Yeah, we don't know what kind of creepy monsters.
spirits.
Right.
I love doing the spooky episodes with you guys.
They're the best.
You know what I loved about the last Halloween special, Sam?
What's that?
Is when you busted out fucking trivia.
Halloween trivia.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa, what a twist.
It may still be lurking around these halls somewhere.
We're not going to spoil it, but we kind of got another little twist coming this episode.
We for
too.
sure do.
So that'll be fun. That Sam also concocted.
Yep. This is our second Halloween
Concocted like a
special, so
witch's
it's become a tradition now.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys again so much for having us. As always, it's a blast. It's so much fun to be on here, and
Yeah.
we've got a couple movies planned as well. I think so.
Excited to have you on.
Yeah, excited to be doing this. It's Halloween today, so
Yep.
Yes.
it's cool to
There's
hang out with
trick-or-treaters.
friends.
It is.
It's cool. We are going
We're gonna
trick-or-treating
get
later.
trick-or-treating periodically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People are going to give us candy because we're good kids, and
That's
people
right.
give good
What's
kids candy.
everybody's Halloween costume? We're all dressed up right now. What is everybody dressed up as?
Yeah, we should announce that, Braden.
Right. I'm dressed up as a beetle.
Yeah, Braden's a big...
A very
A
cool
big
one
beetle.
too.
It's a sick beetle outfit. Dude.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
did you
he's got a
get
big horn and everything.
Where did you
I
get the
made it.
material for the horn?
Um,
What inspired you?
it was the rhino trade.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sick. Sam?
Oh yeah, I'm Detective Magnum PI.
Wow. Yeah, the mustache.
Yeah, as you can plainly see, I
Yeah.
still have my mustache.
That's
You don't
right.
have your shirt on?
Thick and full.
I was wondering why you didn't have your shirt on. I thought we got here and they were like banging or something because
No.
Sam didn't know. He was just Magnum PI.
Nope, I definitely still have a mustache, and I'm Magnum PI for Halloween. How about you, babe?
I'm the spit straight out of the hawk to a girl's mouth.
That's right. And
I'm
it's
keeping it
quite the
simple
creative
this year.
outfit.
I just got really wet.
Another reason why we thought we walked in on them having sex because you were just wet,
Covered
Sam
in
didn't have his
It's
shirt
Very
on.
extremely wet.
Oh
it's really
man,
nasty.
Kaylee, what Halloween? What's going on with your costume? She doesn't want to talk about her costume.
It's really offensive, so I don't blame it.
Yeah, I thought the blackface was an odd choice, but I didn't want to be the one to say it.
This is what happens when you don't come on the podcast. You don't get to defend yourself.
You're racist now.
Don't give out her address. The crazy fan.
There's
no actual black.
What about you, Chase?
Dude, I'm Fred Flintstone. You can't tell just by looking at me.
And I
don't
thought the
look-
blackface was an interesting
You do-
choice.
You
So
give off Fred Flintstone vibes.
Well, yeah, I also have blackface on. I'm black Fred Flintstone.
I'm
It's
uncomfortable.
the Flint. It's the Flint. It's not paint. It's just the Flint. Yeah, we got back into more comfortable outfits. Some that would make everybody else
well,
comfortable
I'm still
and
in my
ourselves.
cool guy outfit. but-
Yeah, I guess. So, Braden, it's been a couple episodes now without you.
That's
I'm
right.
glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Good to have you back.
I've
You've had a
had-
rough couple of weeks.
I've
that
had
have
quite a
deterred
few
you.
weeks with actually very few nerd shits because I did not have Wi-Fi for a
Yep.
good bit of it.
I didn't even bother checking up with you on the last episode. I was
Yeah.
like, he doesn't have internet. There's
Yep.
nothing we can do.
I do not have internet, so I've not been able to consume anything really that new.
I thought you hadn't been able to shit.
But I just finally got internet, moved into a new place, started a new job.
Yeah.
So I've been busy these past few weeks.
You have been busy.
So it's been like a little hiatus for me.
Life shit.
But I'm glad to be back, especially for the second annual Halloween special.
Yeah, we couldn't have done it without everybody here.
Right.
So, yeah, glad everything's working out now, though.
So
The
happy
internet.
Halloween,
Yeah, it's
everyone.
So
settled
happy
in.
Halloween.
Happy
The
Halloween,
spooky
everyone.
internet mystery
Happy
has
to-
been solved.
The
And
31st.
Yeah, the 31st of October
I'm ready to be spooked.
with some of my good companions.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was going to say best friends, but I didn't want to go too far.
Right. You gotta leave some room for
Right, improvement, which I expect from each and every one of you here tonight.
We'll see.
Farm.
That being said, Sam,
yes, you rang.
how are you?
Okay.
What do you want the shitters to know about you since the last time you were on?
Oh, what's happening in the new nerd shit land?
Well, just tell us about yourself.
Yeah,
Then we'll get to
me?
your nerd shit.
Oh, I don't know. I'm I'm a little on the the short side, but I love living large.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Start from the beginning, Sam.
If you want me to go all the way back, I knew Chase when
Wow.
we were in high school, and I don't know if we've delved that deep into it, but we had a real bonding over Snoopy the musical. So
We bonded before that, though.
Little
We
bit,
did a
yeah,
melodrama
little-
together
yeah.
first. We met in acting
Yes.
classes.
Yeah.
that's so true.
And he was my villain
And
and I
I'm-
to his hero.
And I met Sam through Chase.
Yeah.
Like I've met most of my friends
This is
through
fun.
Chase.
Yeah. You're welcome for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few others.
You got a few others.
Yeah.
Some of them fucking suck. But
So that's enough about me. What about you? What are you up to? What do you hope to accomplish during the course of this podcast?
well, it's Kieran's turn, not mine. So you
There's
skipped.
nothing going on with me. It's
Okay.
just this guy.
Okay, well, all right. Moving on to me. Same
Chilling and
old
killing.
shit. Same old shit as always.
House fatherhood.
Raising a kid. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's fun. He's cute.
You doing it
It's
well?
fun. I think so.
Yeah.
You know, we all have moments of weakness, but I think overall I'm
Teaching
doing
him right
well.
from wrong.
Yeah, what?
Teaching him your justice fist.
Oh yeah, he's learned some justice moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a justice slam. It's where he grabs his thumb with this hand and he goes and he swings
Yeah.
his arm.
Destroys whatever's
Justice
down there.
Slam. So he's already working on his at a young age, which I didn't get into mine until much later in my life. So
Right. So he's gonna be a prodigy.
well, you know how these, you know when the anime it finishes the first series and they're like, we'll do a series about that character's kids,
Right, then you
and
get
those
the
kids
Borutos.
they're young, but they're almost as good as the adult forms of their parents. That's my kid.
Right.
Yeah.
He's achieving great things from a young age.
Yes. I mean, what can I say? Gets it from me.
I remember the fro, Chase.
Yeah.
Don't deny.
Well, I'd never deny because it looked good.
Put it up on the screen. Miranda, put up the fro picture on the screen right now.
Bring up the Fro Chase picture,
Editor in chief,
Momager,
Never
if you
seen
will.
Chase.
the Momager.
She'll be back.
That sounds like
with
a great
that.
name for a horror movie.
The Momager.
Mm-hmm.
Kaylee has never seen Fro Chase.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Miranda's about to bring a picture of Fro Chase
Yep.
for you to see. I think it's my 11th grade school picture. She found
Just
it.
you wait. It's
So for all the
Spectacular.
Patreons. Oh my God!
I
Here you
forgot.
go.
She has more.
yeah. She keeps.
I think one of them
copies.
are my senior picture. Yeah. So one, yeah. So
There it is.
It's like a time capsule.
There
a
it
little
is.
bit. It's Miranda's wallet. A time capsule.
Pre and post
I
Fro
also have
Chase.
pictures of her, by
I know.
the way.
That's how I
Let's not
remember
forget
Chase.
that. I don't even know what picture you're looking at right now that you're saying all this to.
Honestly, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
see him.
our favorite little
Here
ragamuffin.
they
I
are.
guess so. Sam, you
That
are
was
you and
him.
her are the only ones here that remember me like
I know.
that.
There's some cringy high school photos of me out there too.
Oh,
I'd
for
prefer
sure.
the audience not to
Yep.
see, but
That was a long,
That's a good thing it's a
long time
podcast.
ago.
good thing.
They don't have to see it.
Good thing.
These reactions to what I looked like are
Not the
very.
same person.
It's the same guy.
Same guy,
Same guy.
different hair.
Nothing else other than the hair. Personality-wise, same guy.
That should be your Halloween
Everything else
costume.
is
You
the
should
same.
go as high
And
school
I'm
you.
Proud of that. Proud of that. Some people change.
Imagine being the same person you were in high school.
Yeah, well, if the person you were in high school was awesome, then who cares, right? Now we can do new nerd shit. So, as always, we let the guests bring in their new nerd shit first. So, either one of you, whatever you want to start with, before we get into spooky season, spooky time.
Yeah, it is
As
spooky.
I think people are calling it.
Well, Braden's dressed as a bug, right? 'Cause he never took his costume off,
yeah.
and it's distracting me because I've been playing a lot of Grounded.
Oh, right.
Oh,
This
yeah.
game that you were talking
It
about.
is very
I've
fun.
heard of it.
It's from Obsidian Software.
Oh, what's their big game? I know that company.
I couldn't tell you. You'd have to look it up. But to give you the rundown,
Greg, pull that up.
You pull
Thought
it
it was
up on the
Brandon.
screen. It's
Whatever your name is.
you're playing as
Jeremy.
like a high school kid in like the 80s, and like you turn small, very like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it's like
Right,
you
classic.
wake up in the backyard and you have to fight a bunch of bugs, and like if
Don't you get to tame them too?
you can tame like the ants.
Oh,
if you
just the ants?
if you like befriend the queen ants, they give you like a little pet that you can name, and like they'll follow you around and carry shit for you.
I was hoping it'd be kind of like Ark Survival, but with
Not
bugs.
quite so. You can't like tame spiders and shit, but that's you kill a lot of
Still
bugs.
sounds cool,
and-
though.
Yeah. So, but if you're afraid of bugs and arachnophobia and such, well, it might be good exposure
Yeah,
therapy
it might
for
not
you.
be for you. Yeah.
They've done a lot of games now that I just looked.
Yeah.
Now that,
Oh, Obsidian, yeah.
yeah, I didn't realize they've made Fallout New Vegas.
I think it's Jack and Daxter. Or no.
No, Jack and Daxter's
What
Naughty
was it?
Dog, isn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think it's Naughty Dog. Sorry, Sam, not to cut you off. The
No,
Outer
no.
Worlds, Grounded. There it is, 2022.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But if you like that survival crafting element,
Yeah.
there's a lot of that in there, and there's a sort of a new game plus mode that allows you to kind of like continue the game, but like with increased like difficulty and
Now,
bosses and shit.
the look of this game, is it is it side scroll? Is it 3D?
No. It's a first person,
First
like
person.
open world,
it,
sandbox
On PC
Haha.
or what?
Yeah, PC and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
and probably Xbox because it's an Xbox.
I think I
game.
saw it was on Xbox.
Yeah, it's a Microsoft game. So, but I've been playing a lot of that, and it's fun.
How many hours have you put into it? Like, how big of a game are we talking?
I couldn't tell you right now.
Millions?
It's as big as you
Close
want it
to
to
millions?
be. Well, with the additional like remix mode, you can like go into New Game Plus and like get additional resources to upgrade your shit even further, and like take on the bosses, increase difficulty, and like.
So is it like a linear story? Like, is there like a completion to the game, or is it
there
like
there is a
sandbox?
story. There is a storyline, yes, and you can have a good ending, and there's like a bad ending also. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's 20 hours maybe at its core, but if you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
you want to put the extra time into it, there's a lot of building. You can
That's a
do
perfect
a lot
length
of that.
of a game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
For,
Yeah.
20 hours.
Like
that's-
20 hours,
to
and if
finish
you
it,
want
yeah.
more out of it, you can put a little
Yeah,
more.
absolutely. And I guess
Or a
it's
lot
been
more.
out for a couple months now in its completed form, but it's been in alpha and like early development for years, and so people have played it before, but this is my first kind of experience with it, and I like
I
it very
remember
much.
seeing it in alpha and thought it looked interesting, but
Well,
never
it's
wanted to buy
like
it.
Subnautica in that way, which you just told me there's going to be
A second one.
Subnautica
another
2.
sequel to Subnautica,
Which I'm excited
official
for.
Subnautica
The commercial
2, yeah.
came on during Everybody Loves Raymond last night.
That was literally the game that got me into survival games, which is like a lot of what I played.
Sure, it's,
Yeah.
I would put them very much in the same genre.
I've never
very
played
very
it,
much,
and I only know about it because of you, Sam, and then,
yeah.
then you.
So
but
I'm
originally Sam
super
showed it
excited
to
for
me.
the second
Yeah,
one.
Subnautica's
I
awesome.
think I walked into you playing it that one summer when we watched a lot of Ghost Adventures.
Could be.
Yeah, I
Could
vaguely
be.
remember
And
that.
they did have an expansion, but it wasn't like as big as a regular.
No, it was a full dedicated sequel. It
Yeah.
was Subnautica Below Zero, and it was a whole different plot line, and it was a whole different map, and a whole different bunch of.
Did you play through Sub?
I did,
Below
yeah.
Zero?
I played them both, and I really enjoyed Below Zero. So this is technically it's the third game in the series.
I started Below Zero, but I never got into it.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like
No, it
how
was fun.
Grand Theft Auto has. It went 3, Vice City, San
I
Andreas
got turned
4.
off the like.
Yeah.
You know what I
cheap
mean?
Yeah, it was
So
an
it's kinda-
offshoot, but
yeah.
I would still call it a true sequel.
Yeah, and I would still call Vice City and San Andreas true.
But I'm excited to see what they add, and if the it's a much bigger scale of everything.
For sure.
I'm gonna have to check this out because
Exciting.
I'm having a little trouble like picturing all of this game. So I kind of feel like I definitely gotta.
Scuba simulator on like an alien planet.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I jumped.
Yeah.
I'm not talking Subnautica. I'm talking Grounded.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I jumped.
Ant bully.
I jumped back to your game.
It's very ant bully.
Ant bully.
Ant bully, like there's an ant bully, or you
the
bully
movie,
ants.
you know, like the 3D animated movie for kids. Ant
Isn't that
bully.
movie just called Ants?
No, not that one.
I've seen ants.
But kind of like
Oh,
that.
just Ant Bully. They're like people.
He's a little boy and he like shrinks down.
Okay,
and
I
he,
think
like,
I have seen
they're
it.
friends
I
with
think I've
bugs.
seen it, but I've never known what it was called. Because I
That's
worked at a
fun.
school, so like I saw it on, but never really thought
I've
about
never seen this.
what I was watching. Yeah, I think Ron's even had it on at like my mom's house sometimes.
Okay.
Ron just plays random movies all the time.
That's
so-
a very wrong
Yeah.
thing to do.
Okay, I'll
And
think that.
We also we also saw a movie
Ooh.
recently.
What did you see?
Which was pretty fun, and I'll let Kieran talk about it.
Yeah.
We started the latest VHS movie last night.
That's not what I was talking about.
Turned it off. Well, kind of just forgot. Like lost interest. It was kind of
bad.
video game. Like it looked kind of.
I've
like
never
a
seen
Fuck
any of
the
those
V-
movies.
Fuck the VHS series. I'm like, this sucks.
First
Would you
skit-
say they get worse? Sounds like it.
Yes, I think it was supposed to be about aliens. I don't know.
First sketch in the first movie is really good, and then the rest. Of
You didn't even know what it was about.
I was talking about Terrifier 3.
Oh, Terrifier 3 was awesome. It was
Right on.
amazing.
That's a great follow up for this because
'Cause
we
we did-
watched the first one together
Yeah.
last
That's
year.
right.
3, it was kind of Christmas themed,
It was
wasn't it?
Christmas themed.
Tell me more.
Yeah,
tell
he-
me more.
He dresses up like Santa. He steals a Santa's beard and wears it off of his chin, and he like, kills people. Obviously,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gruesomely. I
there
assume.
it is the most extreme out of all the Terrifier movies.
I've only seen the
Yeah.
one, and
And
that
it
one
was-
was pretty
was
fucking
pretty
gnarly.
good.
I
It's
loved
pretty fucked
asking
up.
you guys last year when I was like, "What is your like comfort level for horror movies?" And you
Yeah.
said, "Not like we don't watch them a lot.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not really for somebody who like casually watches something.
I would say so.
It was
You
definitely.
have to like
I still
gore."
enjoyed watching
Yeah.
it, but it was a
I,
lot.
I hadn't seen anything like it before.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it was like our kung fu movie marathon, where like the same thing with the scary movies. We just got more graphic last year. It went like,
Yeah.
it did.
an STD kind of based one that wasn't really all that. There was some murder, but it wasn't too.
It was like a
graphic.
suspense.
And then we watched Fright Night.
Yeah.
And then we watched Bill and Ted, which is graphic, but it's goofy.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
Bill and Ted. Fucking
Bill, going along with it.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Bill and Ted versus
And then
Evil.
Terrifier, just like graphic. It was the whole package.
Not to spoil anything, but a dude takes a chainsaw up the ass in this new one, all
God.
the way down.
Dude,
It is so awesome. Highly recommend.
Sounds about
Did that
right.
guy have it coming?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
He
Well, I
likes-
just think,
Are they
I think
bad
the girl
people?
that got cut in half did not have it had it coming.
Nobody
in the last
has that
movie.
coming.
I was
No.
like, this is fucked up, dude. That was one of the most gnarly things I've ever seen.
pretty cool.
Do they top that in like the other two? Would you say?
Yeah.
Oh god, I
Oh.
don't know if I can handle that.
Oh
then.
yeah, the second one tops it, and then the third one tops it again.
Terrifier sat with me a little bit last year.
Understood.
I remember going out to the car to get something like a couple days after that, and it, like for the first time in a very long time in my life, I was like scared.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about
You just saw that guy on the
somebody
bus.
like that, you know.
Right.
Because it's technically possible.
It's technically
A
possible.
townie
That's
could
the
easily look
scary
like
part
that.
about it. Yeah.
A townie could be that
Somebody.
guy.
These movies could inspire someone like that to like
Movies
for sure.
don't make psychos; they make psychos more creative.
Right. Parents make psychos. Bad parents
Ba-
make psychos.
Bad parents.
Bad parents and people that choose
It's
to
all your
homeschool
fault.
their kids.
Absolutely. So what
Just
are we
lost
doing
that
today?
market.
I didn't want that fucking market. They probably don't even know how to find podcasts.
What are we doing?
Um,
Yeah, what's your new nerd shit?
Braden, you have not done the show in a while, so why not? Why don't you take in
Which
the new
is
nerd
funny
shit?
because I really don't have any new nerd shit.
Not any in the month since,
Not really
since I've
any
seen you.
that I can think of.
We've been watching old DVDs.
I actually do have a new nerd shit.
All right.
Yeah, honestly, I saw Say Anything for the first time
Oh wow.
with
okay.
John Cusack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where he does the boombox outside the window.
Mhm.
Never seen that movie before.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that funny.
It's a classic. I haven't seen it in a really long time.
But yeah, I was
Really
into
long.
it.
Like
I digged it.
You know, high school age, but that's a long time.
Have you ever
man.
seen Better Off Dead with John Cusack?
No, I haven't seen
That's a
a
good
lot
one.
of John Cusack movies, but I guess I need to
Yeah. He's
because I really
scrappy.
enjoyed it.
That's a good one.
Good.
Yeah.
Some movies do not hold up as well as Say Anything.
No, I was
Rewatched
not ever
16
interested
Candles
in seeing.
recently. That was rough.
That didn't hold up.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's probably the worst one.
Of that like genre and time frame of films that I've seen like most recently, it would probably be like The Breakfast Club, and that was also like 10 years ago, the last time I watched that. And that held up, I thought.
Breakfast Club is still, holds up.
What's the one we watched for Dazed and Confused? That was one of those ones that, like, I had never seen before,
It's like
but it's
almost
one of those classics, kind of like 16 Candles, kind of like Say Anything. It's in its own ballpark,
Yeah,
but, like...
it's because it's kind of just like an art
Yeah,
thing.
it
Like,
held up pretty well. I really enjoyed
there's no
that
point
movie.
to the movie.
Right.
It's just a movie about
Right.
stoners.
Right. What was your favorite scene?
And Say Anything?
Yeah.
What was my favorite? Oh, when she was telling her father how she planned on not having sex with him, and then had sex with him anyways.
Yeah.
Because she like shares everything with her father,
Right.
and so like she's like very socially awkward. The main girl in the movie.
John
sure-
Cusack.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen Say Anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, like that was my favorite part.
I don't know, man. Our audience, like a lot of percentage of our audience are 18 to 22 year olds.
That's true, and I was
So
in
they
that
maybe-
demographic, and I had
yeah.
not seen it before until recently.
So maybe they haven't. Well,
Yeah, but I thought it was witty dialogue. I thought it was good acting.
something fun that happens in your life if you can't get on the internet. You just go to those DVDs and see what works.
It was a interesting time.
Did you guys have these DVDs or did you rent them somewhere?
Yeah, they were Kaylee's.
Okay, nice.
She had like
That helps.
DVDs.
Really.
So like it forced us to watch movies that I probably would never actively choose to watch if I had like Netflix or Hulu or anything.
Right, yeah.
But sometimes that's good.
You don't have to worry about them leaving the
Yeah.
streaming service.
Yeah. We started. We watched the season 1 of Once Upon a Time.
Oh,
Because we-
On the DVD box set.
Yeah.
all right. Take it easy,
Bucks.
Killer.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
It was good.
It's kind of up your alley of like the kind of shit you've been watching this year.
yeah.
You know, like OC, One Tree Hill, Once Upon a Time.
Just like all the
CW
classic
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CW stuff.
Isn't Once Upon a Time CW?
Pretty much. It might as well be if
Pretty
it's
sure
not.
it is.
It's ABC.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's like the-
whatever. Yeah,
there are a lot of
those
corny
things.
parts to it. But
One of those things. Huh. That's exciting. Well,
yeah, this is very exciting. So hopefully I'll get more new
by
nerd
the
shit
next
afterwards.
episode,
Yeah.
maybe you'll have some Night of the Internet again. I'll see your name maybe pop up on Steam every once in
Yeah,
a while.
when I have time, because I'm also working,
Yeah, we'll get there.
educating the youth
Come play
of
Grounded
America.
with me.
The fucking
It's multiplayer. Come play Grounded with me.
oh, it's multiplayer.
Yeah, come play Grounded with me.
Braden, playground. Well, Braden's the problem
I'll
still
show
is
you-
with
I'll
Braden
show
that
you
his
my
computer
backyard.
isn't staying on
I'm
the internet.
refusing to give up
Even
on my
though-
laptop, even though I know I need to.
Yeah, Braden's laptop doesn't connect to the internet
Rip.
anymore.
Right. I can use it for the games I already have downloaded, and I can sometimes get 5 minutes of internet. But besides that, I just have to keep restarting it.
That sounds
Well, we'll
awful.
just play the old school fashioned way with like paper cups tied to telephone poles.
We
go.
did an episode like that a few months
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. It was a very long paper cup.
It was a really long paper cup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut this. We didn't actually. We just told the shitters that's what we did.
Damn, got him.
So hard.
Got him.
God, it was so good that episode. Yeah, cool.
So
Cool.
Yeah.
What movie did you want to watch first?
Hold on. Oh, Sam.
sorry.
Sam.
sorry.
Don't you care about my new nerd shit? All I've been doing is sitting here asking about your new nerd shit.
What's your
wanna-
new nerd
You don't want
What's
to hear
your
about
new
mine?
nerd shit, Chase?
I'll tell you about mine. Ugh, let me get comfortable.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you guys flew through yours. I'm going to take a second. So a couple weeks back, I did an episode with Becky, and I had talked how I played what I considered to be one of the worst Castlevania games I'd ever played. Yeah, it's called Castlevania, Lord of Shadows, Mirror of something. It's like a 3DS game that they put out on the Steam. I talked about it in length in an early episode, but basically what I said was it was absolute dog shit, and the reviewers at the time when the game came out reviewed it bad, but people in the comment sections were all like, this is one of the best fucking video games I've ever played. I don't know what these reviewers are talking about. IGN's so rude, blah, 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 blah. And IGN gave it a 4.5, and I was like, some people were like, this is the best video game I've ever played, which I'm just like, you people are fucking out of your goddamn mind. Terrible. Absolutely terrible game, but I've said enough about that terrible one.
Do you think maybe it was because you were just bad at it?
Oh no, I basically beat the game.
Oh.
It was, listen to me talk about it. I'll tell you all about how much what was all wrong with this video
Shut the hell
game.
up.
So I played another Castlevania game because my goal was to play, because last year I taught Castlevania on this very episode, and I played 3 Castlevania games. So I was like, I want to do the same for the spooky season this year. So I started with that dog shit one, and it really killed my mood. But just a couple months back, they put out the Castlevania Dominus collection out on the Switch and Steam, which is the collection of all the DS Castlevania games. And I'm here to say that one of the games that I played on it redeemed the Castlevania legacy in my life because it was fucking awesome and it was really fun to play.
And what was that game?
And that game is Castlevania Portrait of Ruin for the Nintendo DS. Now, last year I talked about Dawn of Sorrows, which is my favorite of the DS Castlevania games, and one that I played as a kid. I had never played any of the other ones, so I'm really excited to play the next one after I get some time away from Castlevania again. But from going from what I consider to be one of the worst Castlevania games I'd ever played to like one that just is everything I love about Castlevania, I was so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
The highs and lows of this long-term
Oh my god,
franchise.
it had anything that I might have used to not like about some of the controls when I would play like the other Castlevania games, immediately were just like breaths of fresh air playing this new one again. And well, not new, but like a DS one again. And what sucks is like the 3DS one fucking blows, yet the DS ones are so goddamn good. It's like, you fucked with the good formula there, you fucking idiots. But I digress. What I like about the Castlevania games on the DS, and I said it last year and I'll say it again, because the original Castlevania games you kind of play as like one of the Belmonts. You have like just your whip and then like other items and like some type of magic system, which works fine. But what I like about the DS ones and like the Game Boy Advance ones is like you can equip certain weapons, you can equip certain gear to give you different abilities. Like there's a lot of playing around. You don't just have a whip. I had a swinging weapon. Like you can either have weapons that go like forward, swing, or like a whip. You can still have the whip. I usually get a big swinging, high damage. I'm the fucking, tank. I'm just getting the stronger strength because you have all the stats, strength, defense, magic, luck, inspiration, yada, yada, yada. Another thing I liked about this game, because you don't play it like this in any of the other ones. Actually, you kind of do. Let me defer to the dog shit Castlevania game. The dog shit Castlevania game, one thing I liked about it, but they did poorly, was like it allowed you to play as multiple characters. So in that one, you got to play as Trevor Belmont, Simon Belmont, and Alucard. So like that was cool. They didn't do anything with it. Even Alucard had a fucking whip for some dumb dog shit no
Didn't want to
reason.
program a new move.
It just was terrible. But this game, it's 2 characters, and like you can either choose to hit the A button and have the second character like follow you around and fight and do shit with you, or you can just like, because the girl's like a mage and then you're like the warrior, so like she gets all the magic abilities and you get all like the physical and like strength boosting abilities or like items to like throw like other weapons at shit.
Right.
Typical.
But I really dug that. Like you can have her just come down and help, and she uses up your mana system. Like if she's down helping constantly or like taking damage, but like who fucking cares? You have a second person to just like fight bad guys with, and if you don't want her there or him, you can play as either or. If you hit the X, you can switch to the girl. I've typically played as the guy character because I wanted to use weapons and not magic. But and they really have fun with that because like some of the bosses you fight, like her attacks are the ones that do more of the damage, so you'll have to switch to her or like figure things out. Some of the puzzles, because a lot of fun things about Castlevania is you're traveling through the castle, you're doing puzzles and shit to get from room to room. Some of them require them to like split up and do separate things, or utilizing like the UI to like send a character to do one thing, help you push some. There was something today because I just finished the game today, but I went into this room and a fucking train like hit me, and it just pushes you out into the last room so you don't know how to get past the area. And it was like, oh, what if I try doing the thing where she comes and we just push this fucking train? And that's how we stopped the train, just by pushing it, and then we got to go farther.
Huh.
So it utilizes having that second character. And I would switch back and forth a lot with them. There's a leveling system, so you want to like consistently kind of swap between the characters to keep everybody leveled up. You buy new weapons, you buy new gear, and then the final boss, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't think they utilized it as well as like the idea is interesting as, if that makes any sense. But you fight Dracula and Death at the same time. Like it's like a double battle because there's
Sick.
2 of you. But like they don't do anything to make the computer character like any more useful than she's been throughout the whole game up to that point. Like, she still takes your mana away from being out, where it's just like,
Typical women.
I feel like if she was just out, we could. Crazy fight though, dude. Crazy fight. Like,
Always
a lot of these,
taking your
it's
mana.
challenging. That's another thing. All the boss fights had some sort of challenge to them, which I really appreciate. The other game was like, they could be hard, but if you just like kept button mashing, you get it eventually. This one, like, you have to fucking move around. You have to dick around with some of your abilities.
Oh, sure.
And
That's how like
that's how these games work.
the boss fights in Grounded really are. It's so timing based.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get good at blocking. You have to get good at the perfect parrying system, or else, because there's so much perks
You just
around
get
that.
damage.
It's
It's
like,
fun because you get to learn.
yeah,
the
and you
game
get to build specific,
feel yourself get
character.
better.
Like, specific character builds come from like the mutations that you earn throughout the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, once you chop down like 100 blades of grass, say, you get like the chopping ability. But it's you set these things. It's like you get a bonus for perfect blocking. You get additional stamina or health or whatever, and it's like you upgrade your character throughout the game, and you kind of have. It's almost like a build set. It's like, do you want to be more of a great axe user? Do you want to be an archer?
Basically
Do
what I
you want to
became.
be a somebody
sick.
uses a sword and shield?
And like, you're constantly going into the
there's
menus.
ways to build it, and exactly,
swapping your
swapping
equipment.
it out and trying to. It's
and it's part of the game. You
Yeah.
don't feel like you're wasting your time.
you got to break apart like a
swapping.
breath mint to get this, the minty arrows,
Yeah.
because only the spiders are weak to minty arrows, like,
Right. Yeah.
or
yeah.
whatever. But it's,
And it's something that, like I said, they're doing it in this DS game, and then they lost it by the time they made the 3DS game, and it's just like,
Probably a different team.
what?
or-
Probably a different team. I think, and then like it's a 3DS
Yeah.
remake of like the Xbox
incredible
game,
how
so like
much
it's like a
variety.
dumbed down version of another game, anyways.
the Castlevania
Right.
franchise,
So it's bound to suck.
especially. It has so much variety within.
I
Yeah,
love
there's
the
bound to be some
franchise.
clunkers.
I love these
There's some
games.
good ones and there's some
And all
not
the
so
DS
good
ones
ones.
review really well. And what I like about this Dominus collection is like, it's a lot of people would always ask like, well, if they remake DS games on the Switch, how would they utilize the two screens? And I thought it did a really fun job, because it's like 3/4 of the screen is the game itself, like the whatever the action part of the game is, and then they put like what would be the bottom screen, the map, and then there's like in the map, I know on the DS like you can switch through pages to see different maps or different like settings. They just have both of those two screen to the side. So you can constantly see your map. You don't have to pull up a map to look around. You just look over at your map.
Yeah,
which is
just
such
mini
a,
map
'cause, like,
stuff.
In Castlevania games, there's a lot of checking your map, like going in and looking
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
Going back to areas that you've already explored with the new upgrade that you can now use
right.
to
So
climb
you
to the
can just-
higher pillar.
You just have to look. You
like
just have
in
to look
dungeons
over
mostly?
and it's there.
Or like
Absolutely.
dungeons mostly, or like, or is it like
Well,
outside
you're
areas?
basically in. So most of them, you're in like Dracula's castle, and it's
Right.
some variation of the castle, and you're using the map to like get around and find areas that like you couldn't get through at one point, but now you have a new ability, so you can get through it probably now.
Right.
What I like about this one is some of the other games they change up the castle or they change up the setting. This one was fun. It's called Portrait of Ruin. You're going throughout Dracula's castle, and this like villain has made portraits that you have to go into, and there's these different worlds and
Oh,
different
so it's like Super Mario
so you
64.
have multiple yes, it's like that, but with like Castlevania themed like castles in different locations. Like there's a desert area. There's and not just, I wouldn't actually, desert's not the right way of putting it. They're different.
Dracula's dry
They're different
desert.
like Halloween monster character kind of places. I don't know how else to describe it. Like you're in a different movie.
So this is
every
very
Swamp
appropriate
Man's
for Halloween.
Bog.
very dude, I fought the last like stretch of bosses you fight before you go to the final boss was the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, yep.
I cannot remember who the fourth one.
Bringing
and
all
then
the comes out.
one of them, I can't remember who the one is, but the other one is Medusa. So you fight all these like classic monsters before you,
Classic Universal monsters.
right? And I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought that was pretty like
It's pretty dope.
used to like, something to bring on here today. And I only found that out last night because I played through a fuck ton of it last night, so I got to have it done by today.
Well, I'm glad you're having a good time with it.
Yeah, I would totally
Do you have- how many-
$25 on the fucking Switch store.
How many
You
games
get-
left do you have to play for Castlevania?
Like in general?
Yeah.
I only have the one DS game left. There's probably still quite a few that I'd have to play. Yeah.
Probably spin-offs and stuff.
How many
as well.
are on the collection?
On the DS collection, there's 3, and then I think there's like 2 like side games on there as well. $25, you get these 3 great Castlevania games. I think it's a total deal, and I scooped it right up, and no regrets. And I plan to play the third one on there very soon because I heard that's considered like one of the
There's
best
a lot
ones.
of good Capcom collection stuff on the Nintendo store.
There's a lot of good collections on the Nintendo store.
Yeah.
in
They
general.
love to resell you
sales.
their games.
They sure do. And here I am
Yep.
buying them.
Buying them right up.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring more Castlevania because I know that's what I talked about
love
last
it,
time.
yeah.
I don't think Miranda and I had finished the show by last time we were on, so I will just say as a recap to all of that, that anime ended fucking awesomely. It's been like a year since we've
Oh, no
watched
way.
it now.
Yeah.
But Castlevania, the original series, fucking blows my
right.
mind by the end
I still
of it
haven't
all.
finished that, and it's
Oh
not like a
my
long
God.
series.
It's not that long. It's only like 3, maybe 4 seasons.
It's the only thing I hate. They kind of give you a fake out sort of at one point toward the end there.
The
but
end, yeah.
I
But
otherwise
I was happy
appreciate
for it.
it.
It was like a fake out that I was happy for. I was
Sure.
like, yeah. But yeah, I love that final fight was just so cool. The whole last season, I was just like,
yeah, we
the
still got
show
our
just gets like
Dracula up there.
It's like you're climbing
It's getting really
Dracula's
good.
tower.
Yeah, I've only heard good things
Castle.
about Castlevania.
Check it out.
My only complaint is that they never used the music after the first season, or I think it was in the second season they did the original the song, but they didn't.
But they didn't bring it
They
back for
didn't bring
3
it
and 4.
back. They didn't bring it back.
Baby, come back.
So movies?
So movies, yeah.
So movies.
What do we want to say? What movie we're gonna say? So let's just say what we're doing. I guess the shitters don't know that yet.
No,
We are going to watch 3 classic
Universal
monster movies.
comes.
Comes. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the acronym.
Yeah,
Comes.
classic Universal monster movie. Come.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch some Come.
Yeah.
And we've selected 3. We're not sure what order we're going to watch them in.
So we got
One of those we're not watching. But it does look good for a visual.
we got the Wolfman,
We're going to watch the Wolfman. We're going to watch Son of Dracula.
Son of Dracula, and
'Cause you guys-
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's there. We were going to watch Creature from
Watch Young
from Black
Frankenstein.
Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
But we're going to see if that's available. I haven't really checked if we can rent
It's
that
a
yet.
3-parter.
It's got to be, but if it's not,
It's
maybe we'll
gotta
pick one of
be.
the other ones. So we're going to pick one of these movies. We're going to do like we do from time to time. We'll watch one. We're going to come back. We're going to tell about our experience.
about it.
And we're going
Say
to
how we
watch
felt.
another one. Talk about it. Watch it. And maybe we'll have some fun things ready for you in between.
Yeah.
So, shitters,
Until then,
let's
Turn your-
turn your front porch
forward.
lights on.
Time to
Let
go
the kids in
trick-or-treating.
town know that you're open for candy.
Yep,
And
get ready to be spooked.
by the time they're done, we'll have some more content for you to listen to. See you then.
Bye.
Well, that stick is priced at £3.
£3. $15 for an old stick?
Well, that's a very rare piece. It shows the wolf and the pentagram, the sign of the werewolf.
Werewolf? What's that?
Well, that's a human being who at certain times of the year changes into a wolf.
You mean runs around on all fours and bites and snaps and bays at the moon?
Oh, even worse than that sometimes.
What big eyes you have, Grandma.
Little Red Riding Hood was a werewolf story. Of course, there have been many others. There's an old poem. Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
We have just wrapped up Wolfman. If we didn't say it before, that's the one we decided to go with first. Fred, dude, you look like a fucking like orangutan with that fucking way your mouth looks eating that cookie. Sorry, it just really caught me off guard when I looked at you.
There's no visual reference for the audience.
I know. If you could have
Yeah,
seen
just-
Braden's mouth.
eating like an orangutan.
Well, it wasn't just the way he's chewing, but he had a cookie like stick on. It just made his whole face look stretched out. It wasn't what I expected when I turned to talk to him.
Anyways.
We watched Wolfman.
Oh,
Yeah, who wants to jump in first with their thoughts about this movie?
it's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, I got more into it as time kind of went on. Like at first, I was like slightly paying attention.
It's really tight too.
It is tight.
Like,
a lot.
they
They
really-
packaged a lot, but by the end, it did just feel like, okay, we're done. Movie's over.
We can say it
Go
was
home.
a flawed character too.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a lot to invest in at the beginning.
The pacing is a little off. there's a lot of build up into the, getting to see the Wolfman. And then by the time you see him, it's kind of like, oh, there he is. Oh,
Kills a couple people.
And then he's,
And then dies.
Did you guys expect the death at the end?
I've seen this movie.
I did.
Actually, I enjoyed this a lot growing up. I loved the Wolfman and everything. But
I still liked it,
yeah,
though. Like,
he's a very tragic character in that way.
It's a tragedy.
But
But is it? Because he sucks.
he's
He
kind
really
of
sucks.
he's kind of a creep. Yeah, no
I think
doubt.
given the timeline and when this came out, they weren't banking on him being a creep.
No.
Or people considering.
Sure.
I
him.
think that's a generational,
He was a hunk, for
generational
sure.
thing.
Yeah. It didn't even matter that he was trying to hit on the woman that was already engaged and kissed her.
And the
nobody
love
was
timeline
like,
was all off.
the what?
The love timeline,
Oh,
like
yeah.
how much she invested in him after like nothing.
After like nothing. I'm
After a
telling
couple
you,
creepy
he
encounters.
kissed her after a couple creepy encounters, and she kind of went with it for a second before she
She
ran
was like,
away.
"But he's kind of a hunk."
And I was just like, where did any of this build for you personally, honey?
Yeah. He's
What
like
the
40.
fuck is going
Only
on?
to one thing about this
She's
man.
a mess herself. I wish he would have. Did he kill her by the end?
No, she
No, I
was
didn't think
sad,
so.
Though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Stupid bitch. I don't know. She's nice and all, but like an idiot woman. Not because women are idiots, but she is an idiot woman. He's an idiot
No,
guy.
you can say it.
Okay.
Dracula kind of ended similarly.
But I dig that too. Like that's how scary movies kind of do end.
I love a
They're
tragic end.
differently now, but like
Yeah.
it always ends with
The
the
main guy dies.
something bad.
Yeah.
Twist.
They kill the monster.
Yeah.
They're considered
His
horror
dad
movies.
killed
They're horror movies.
They're horror movies for sure.
You think these just like scared people back then?
Somebody probably had a heart attack by how exciting that was. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that at one point when they're like, "Oh, where it's over here," and
Just
like
like with
the
I mean,
action
yeah.
was happening.
Don't you think that's why we still hear about this movie to this day?
Probably.
Is because it blew somebody's mind at some point in time? To
A
us,
couple people.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
definitely good
I
good
think so.
makeup. I like the
The
wolf.
look of the wolf.
The
look.
brows.
I mean, his wolf look was. It's weird how they chose for the gypsy guy, to not just be like the same makeup on
I
him.
was
as
going to
Wolf.
comment on that. He
He was just
more
a
of
dog.
a true.
They just gave him a dog. Like
an
they
animal.
just put a dog in the movie.
But
yeah,
there's no mistaking. When Larry turned into the Wolfman, he was on 2 feet.
Right,
It
yeah.
was kind of like
so interesting that they didn't.
Dad just took the cane to him, and it's like this is just an extremely hairy gentleman.
Probably too much work back then, and
Yeah.
this
No,
guy
but-
They're
probably
like
was
put
like,
makeup
I don't
on
want to
one
be
guy.
covered in hair.
It's just funny.
Transition also.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe he wasn't
he
as
was-
developed of
right.
a
Yeah,
werewolf.
that's true.
He wasn't as in touch with his
He
bestial
only really
nature.
became Wolfman like 2 times, two or 3 times.
I think it's worth talking about then the way the gypsy woman was able to kind of subdue him into a state where he wasn't a beast anymore. Did you
Right.
notice that? How she was able to like help him come out of it and like
she must have learned that with her husband, and he must have slipped out one that night or something. That she couldn't like.
oh yeah,
know?
the best friend character who is like the third wheel on the date and
Oh,
just ends up
Jesus.
getting
Just getting killed.
Yep.
Just dead.
oops.
Yeah, and they try to make like when that was happening, I was like, oh, she'll probably get away for a little while. She'll be the one that's afraid of getting killed by the wolf.
Nah.
No, she dies. I was like, is that her that just died? Like it's so just like
Yep.
she's dead now. Oh, okay.
tragedies.
I mean, this whole
That's
movie
what it is.
a tragedy.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy.
I think
man.
they even say that on the label.
I was crying a little.
Yeah, I like this movie. I think I like Dracula better.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything to. I haven't seen it, so I have nothing to compare it to. But I don't think it would be hard for a movie to be better. I enjoyed this, but like it was pretty bare bones.
Do you think you would be able to say like this was about the duality of man, like
Yeah.
the good and evil that exists within all of us?
Totally.
I think.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Absolutely.
Good. Then the point got across when I told you that.
Yeah, the movie really. They peppered it in.
They pound those lines in. They make sure you remember
Yeah.
those rhymes.
Well, they peppered it in, but you don't realize that you didn't click the side of that's like just the couple holes. It's the one that has the whole thing open, so a bunch of pepper falls on it.
They
That's
really
how they
wanted.
peppered that message in.
They really had to spell it out for the audience back then.
Yeah. People were dumber back then.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. I know
This
it's hard
is
to
the
believe, but
simplest
people were
story to
dumber
follow.
back then.
This is about the duality.
Yeah. I mean,
It's good.
there's a movie in there. They didn't mean to make it, but it has a lot more
Gay subtext.
gay
Way
subtext
gay,
for sure.
yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. But just deeper themes, like the dual. Like I don't think they were planning anybody to think that, but you do.
They told you on the movie.
Well,
Yeah,
He
they told you the
literally had a
themes.
speech about it
Point
where he
blank.
said it's about the duality of man. It's about the good and evil that exists within all of us.
That's
he
right.
fucking
That's right.
said
That's
that.
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why he was Wolfman and the whole reason.
And then he said, "I'm wolfing out."
I'm wolfing out. I'm wolfing the fuck
It's
out of
getting
here.
hairy in here.
Let's talk about some of the characters in particular. I liked the topic that we had during the movie of the Wolfman himself. What's his name? Larry. He has two just
Larry Blunt.
really
Lawrence Talbot.
negative enablers in his life. That
Yeah.
being
3.
his own father,
Yeah, who covers up his crimes.
yeah, and the gypsy woman. Enablers.
Who,
And
like, helps
the
him
girl.
become a werewolf.
What's that?
She like basically helps him become a werewolf, or I guess she cures him.
I mean, she saves him when he
Yeah.
could just be hunted down and stopped.
He just has schizophrenia.
She rescues him.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because he's the guy that killed her husband. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's the
She
guy that
understood the
beat her
power of
husband
the
to death.
beast, though, and the curse that comes with it.
Maybe she didn't like her husband.
He was finally at
I hope
rest.
she
I
loved
mean,
her husband.
it had to be a
Yeah,
very
his
sweet
curse
thing
was
because
lifted, and
yeah.
he.
he was
Yeah.
no longer suffering.
I
from
can
the
see
curse,
that.
But she knew that this new guy was going to be like, in for a shitty time. Like,
She felt for him. Yeah, I get that, but like, whatever. And then the dad, who's just so concerned with like passing on his lineage, it enables him in just a different way of just like,
oh, this is all in your mind.
The last
I'm gonna
heir.
tie you to a chair for mental
I'll
health.
tie you in your chair. I'll tie you to this chair. This thing that's definitely not going to happen. I'll tie you to a chair.
Yep. After it already happened twice.
And obviously it didn't work, so.
Yeah. And Larry in general. Oh my God. Just a fucking weird guy.
I can't tell if he's 30 or 40.
I'd peg him in his 40s. Like they said, he's been gone for 18 years. You can only leave, I feel like that, especially back then, from home when you're 18. So say he left right away. He's at minimum 36 years old.
Sure.
Well,
Give or-
and at the beginning,
give or take.
they made a whole point about the astronomy thing, and like, he helped fix the telescope, and it's like, oh, do you believe in astronomy and like the full moon? And he's like, not really, But it's like that didn't come back into
to bite you,
play.
buddy.
Didn't come back into play at all, really. Just like,
Well, no, it's just, well, eventually the moon and the stars are going to turn you into a wolfman at night. So maybe you should have respected him, motherfucker.
When the one person insinuated that the pentagram mark could be left by most animals.
Yeah.
What did that even mean?
That's what I mean. That was his enabling. He's like, stop. That could be any animal.
Literally anything.
A star? Every
Rabbits do
dog
that all
has
the
a star
time.
for
Rabbits
their
love to do
footprint.
that with their nose.
Yeah. So things like that take you in and out of the movie.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I liked it.
I do too.
Also, Larry's a freak. I know I already said that, but I'm going to say it again. He telescoped a bitch. But he's a freak in a weird way. He wasn't telescoper. I'd rather he just be the fucking pervert that's like just trying to catch a peek rather than
he
what
comments on the jewelry that she's
just
wearing in her
He
bedroom, right?
immediately
Like,
beelines it to her fucking place of work to be like, put
I'll
those
see you at
earrings
8,
on.
by
I'll
the
see
way.
you. We're going on a date. She's just like, no, we're not. No. And he's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll buy a cane.
Men
We're
had
going to
to be
have dinner.
aggressive.
What's that?
I said that's just how the men were.
I guess, but it's just like, this guy sucks. Right? I said in the middle of the movie, I was like, are they setting us up to hate this guy so when he does die as the wolf
That's the crazy thing is like
should I care? Is
I
it a
think
tragedy?
you were supposed to care.
I mean, he's
But,
our
like, to
protagonist, definitely. I
He
mean,
sucks.
But like the only like he dies, which is whatever about for me as a viewer, he sucked. But also his dad loses his estate, and I'm just like, well, he sucks too. So I don't really care.
Yeah. It's a horror movie, so you don't really have to care.
I guess not.
A lot of the characters
You
are going
just
to
you
wind
don't
up
have to
dead
care.
anyways.
You just have to scare. That's the rule.
Yep. Were you guys
Scaring
scared at
is
all?
caring.
I wasn't scared, but as you said, if I grew up in 1945, this movie really beats the bush of like beats the bush. Is that even a saying? They beat you over
beats
the head.
around the bush.
No, because they don't beat around
It
the bush.
doesn't beat around the
they
bush.
beat the bush the fuck up with a bat.
They beat him.
I don't remember what I was trying to say because I got too caught up in the analogy. They beat something over the head with some sort of metaphor. Remember what I was talking about? Does anybody remember what I was saying?
This podcast
Did not know
sponsored
what
by
you were gonna say.
Booberry, General Mills.
No. No.
I was
It's
eating an Oreo earlier.
delicious.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Somebody go on. I'll edit it. I'll figure it out.
Cut that.
I'm sorry. I'm really fucking high right now.
Cut that.
Hey, if those candles went out, I'd adjust them with my new Justice Embers. I can now use magic in my Justice attacks now. I unlocked my
Whoa, what level was that?
32, I guess. I unlocked my Justice mage abilities, so now I can use like magic too. It's not just fists and physical attacks.
It sucks
You can
that
dual
the
class
levels are
now.
locked behind like a time-based system, and
That's-
you can't like grind to like get ahead.
No, but now that
Because you've become a father.
yeah, maybe that was it. Something had to snap in my brain just a little to unlock the.
Are you ever gonna switch back to warrior mode?
Well, I can I can go back and forth. So that's where my new like this season, like my enemies get used to me just using mage abilities, but then they forget like during a big battle that I can
You can
still.
also punch
They
people.
learn how
So
to
like they
counter
think they blocked my
your
magic, and all of a
spells.
sudden I'm right next to them, and then bam, Justice Fist. I just bring back the OG Justice Fist. I got it all mapped out, guys. sorry.
About it, Upton.
It's Chase Creepek Deep Lore.
That's the part that I'm gonna cut. So I'm just catching you guys up on that. That's a new thing in my life.
Cool.
I forgot to tell you about.
What was that again? Wait.
I've unlocked the mage class for my.
I mean,
Justice
everybody knows
powers.
that Embers is the weakest of the fire-based spells.
So
So,
it's my-
really,
yes.
this is just your starting level base spell, really.
Right,
You
right,
haven't learned Justice Flamethrower.
So, Justice Fire. I haven't even learned Justice Fire, which is just like a small flamethrower out of my hand. But I did come up with some. See, Justice Lightning. Or no. It's Justice. So they go like kind of bigger and bigger by the
Are
element.
you playing
like,
Ness? Is this Ness?
no, I'm just playing my
Oh.
life.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I've
Oh, your mate.
because I'm an anime character. And I have abilities. And I just recently unlocked my magic abilities. Like before I was all Justice Fist, Justice Kick, Justice Hurricane. Like it's just me doing physical
You wouldn't
attacks.
lose fantasy football if that were the case. So
Right. And I've recently unlocked magic. So now there's Justice Fire, Justice Flame. But one of my big like final attacks is Justice Storm. And it's just it's my lightning magic power.
okay.
Okay.
Thanks for catching me up.
How'd you unlock it?
How did I unlock it?
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah, how do you hit these how do you hit these goals?
You know, sometimes in a video game where you level up and all of a sudden it's telling you what the level's up to, and it's just it told you something that you're like, what?
When you
I
get your
didn't even know
steps
I
in
could
enough
do
days in
that.
a row.
Yeah. So that's how I got it.
Got
It just came one day and I was like, Justice Fire. I've been, like I said, I've been reading the Wheel of Time, so there's like a magic system in that, so my brain's
So you're
kind of on.
incorporating that into
Yes.
the anime.
Yes. What did anybody have anything else to say about Wolfman?
It's a howling good time for the whole family.
Ooh, all right.
Don't teach them about that.
But yeah. What would you guys like to do next?
We definitely got to pick a movie next.
For sure.
So-
That would be step one in watching a movie. Gotta pick it.
What a smartass. Braden's a smartass for Halloween this year, everybody.
Well, let's pull from the magical
Smart-ass cool
witch's
guy.
hat and see which movie we come up
Right.
with.
We'll just keep everybody in the dark until after we watch the movie. So, that's part of the fun.
shit in the dark.
So,
Does a nerd shit in the dark?
whenever we get back from this little break, gang, you'll find out what movie we decided to watch. We might not even stick to the movies we told you we were already watching at the beginning of this podcast. So even as of right now, even we're all in the dark a little. So
That's
we got to
true.
jump off, find some light, but we'll be back.
See ya.
Catch us.
Alucard is undoubtedly a vampire. Probably a descendant of Count Dracula.
Are you sure we're not allowing our imagination to run away with our common sense, Professor?
Can you suggest any other explanation for the events of the past few days?
No. Neither can I give a lucid explanation of a vampire.
Broadly speaking, a vampire is an earthbound spirit whose body comes to life at night and scours the countryside, satisfying a ravenous appetite for the blood of the living. This it does by drawing it from the throat of its victim.
It's a nauseating thought. They're supposed to be immortals, no doubt.
Practically, so long as they return to their graves before sunrise. Between then and sunset, they remain in a sort of cataleptic state, during which they can be destroyed by two different means. At night, however, they are invulnerable.
Clap. Clap.
Clap.
Clap.
More like chirp,
Clap.
chirp, chirp.
That's the test.
Oh. Sorry, Brandon. I'm kicking
Please
you in
clap.
the arm.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
The son of Dracula.
I don't know if we said it before when we stopped, but we watched Alucard, the son of Dracula.
Yep. Is it just called The Son of Dracula, or is it called Alucard?
I think it's called
Son of
Alucard,
Son of Dracula.
Son of Dracula. It's just called the Son of Dracula?
Just son of Dracula.
But The Son of
Really?
Dracula is Alucard.
Oh, I thought the movie itself was called Alucard. Oh, the movie should just be called Alucard then. No Son of Dracula.
Yeah.
Because he's not.
Certified hunk Lon Chaney.
Dude.
Is back.
For a movie. Yeah. And he's in it not a whole lot. For a movie that is 78 minutes long, that felt like an eternity.
We all felt the length.
We
with that
all
one.
felt there was an ad break at one point, and I thought, wow, way to put an ad break kind of late in the movie. Like, it's almost over, isn't it? And there
Nope.
was so
It was
much
halfway through.
movie
Probably
left.
exactly halfway, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Son of Dracula.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
give it away early on, don't they?
Right away. Like, right away, they go to the hearse or something, and it's just written on there. And the guy sees it that
It's on
way.
his luggage. His coffin.
So, I mean,
Comes
yeah,
in.
we as the viewers aren't supposed to think there's a mystery, but we're watching these characters solve the mystery that we know
Right.
away.
'Cause he's pretty much Dracula.
Yeah.
He does the exact same
And,
thing
like-
Dracula would do,
Yeah.
which is just try and find a wife, make them into a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what he did.
he was just trying to make
That's
them
what he did
a happy
exactly.
home.
You know what, though? I will say this little shift up kind of made things interesting. Like, so there's like a little bit of a story at the beginning of the movie, and then there's just stuff that happens for most of the rest of the movie, and then the plot comes in kind of right at the end when you find out that she only married him to
It's like,
become
yeah,
immortal.
she's into him,
but it was
but
so
she's not.
far into the movie.
Yeah.
But it's just like she sacrificed to your humanity regardless, so it's like she had to die.
I struggled to stay awake for this one.
Yeah.
I think
could
we were
see
all
that.
having a little.
I was
little sleepy.
awake, but like I wasn't having a good time like I was with
a lot of
Wolfman.
exposition, a lot of explaining.
Yeah, a lot of talking.
Already established Dracula lore.
Right.
So-
Right. So like even though we know it, other characters don't know it, so they have to learn it before we can carry on. And it's
It
just
felt like the Godfather Part 3 the Dracula version.
God. Yeah. Just yeah.
More lore.
I did not. It's gonna be hard for me to come up with anything, and I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just
It's just old.
It's just an old. Not a lot of thought went into the. That
It
was
just
not-
didn't translate.
Like, it's weird to say that a 7-8 minute movie could have been 20 minutes shorter. You know, it could have, like, to not even be an hour, and because there was no,
There's a lot of pointless
there
stuff.
was no story for so long that I was just like
A lot of staring.
a lot of staring.
A lot of long scenes of like the actor doing things not in slow motion, but the actor just moving really slow.
Yeah. Does anybody want to explain what the plot was of the movie, just real quick?
I was not following it.
Dracula's back.
Like, there was
and
one,
he
yeah.
comes to town, and everybody's suspicious of him, but he marries the local weirdo girl and takes over the mansion. And everybody's concerned for her safety. They're like, "You good?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm great." And everybody's like, "I don't think she's really that great."
Right.
I think,
And then she's not.
I think
Nope, she's a vampire.
She's in a bad situation.
She's
and
about
it
to be
turns
a
out
vampire,
she wanted to be in the situation, but only to exploit her own ends. So
Right.
Right. She
I
had
mean,
her own motivation.
yeah, she wanted to be immortal. She wanted her fiance to be immortal, and this is what she was willing to do to become immortal. And I guess it kind of worked, but she counted on a man who, in the end, Frank, I mean, who just comes off crazy to everybody. That's what I do like about these movies. The character that we all know isn't crazy. To
Sounds
everybody
crazy.
else is like, something's crazy about this guy.
It's to me, and I don't want to,
He's the hero.
disservice either movie, but it is to me like a little bit of Fright Night in that way, where it's like, hey, this is what is happening, but nobody's gonna believe me, and we have to take steps to stop it. But in Fright Night, at least, the plot anyway revolves around you kill the main vampire, and every vampire underneath him is like, converted back to normal.
Right.
Sure.
So by that logic, he burned her for no reason.
But she was still a vampire, it
We
seemed like.
assume we didn't see her
like Demon
do
Slayer
anything
rules.
vampiric after that.
Yeah. Huh.
She was just laying in
But
the coffin.
I don't know if that is, what counts in this movie.
Who knows?
I mean,
They didn't go out of the way to tell us that.
the facts.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of lore in the movie. None of it was interesting to me.
No. No.
Wasn't a lot going on.
Dude, it went on forever.
Sorry, son of Dracula. You get
Oh.
2 bats out of 10.
Yeah.
Not that great, but the effects were kind of fun for the time. The smoke effects
Remember,
and
it's
the,
old as fuck, yeah.
the bat effects they were getting me.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Nothing to add.
Yeah, that's another thing. It, killed
This
my
made me
energy.
tired too, yeah.
Yeah.
Energy was dead already. Like when I woke up today.
Oh.
That's because it's Halloween,
Mine
guys.
wasn't, but
Hey,
that movie
it is-
certainly.
By the way, it's
Right,
it's
we did that
Halloween.
trick-or-treating's probably what made
Have
us
there-
tired.
Yeah, while we were watching the movie, we also trick or treated.
We put it on portable
Have
DVD
there- we
player.
put on our porch light and we put out a sign that said only take 1 candy, but we came back and the whole bowl was gone. And
You gotta have a
I don't
camera.
know. That's
That's what,
not cool, guys.
Well, that's true, but that's what people that do that deserve to be done to them, honestly.
Nobody gave us candy.
so if
Yeah.
we get any more trick or
too
treaters
old.
throughout the night, we're not going to have
You're in your
anything
30s.
for them. But maybe we could make some pumpkin seeds.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
All right. Well, does anybody have anything else to really say about this movie? I wish I could say more.
It didn't feel like a lot happened.
One thing was, it felt like it took
Too much happened.
forever for Dracula Alucard to finally show up in the movie, and that was at a point where I was also like, "Wow, it's like an hour into this movie," and it really wasn't.
That was like
it took
15
forever for him to
minutes.
show
Not
up,
the Alucard
but then it
I
went
know and
on
love.
for
Out of
forevermore.
our way to call him Alucard when his name's Dracula.
Yeah.
That really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Jesus job in the Holy Ghost.
But it's the character he went by in this movie, so I don't know. I like the fake out. I like how he was already burning his coffin. Like that was a cool moment where Jack had already burned the coffin when he went to confront Dracula. So that was like a cool little twist. Like, because I didn't know. I thought he was gonna kill Jack right there. I was like, what's his plan here? He had already lit the coffin on fire.
Jack or Frank? Who?
Frank, whatever.
Yeah.
I knew it was just a basic name. That's how I feel about Jacks and Franks. Nothing clever about their names.
Nope.
Nothing. And nothing too clever about this movie. So, yeah, other than that, that's all the good I have to say.
I don't have anything to add.
We'll move on to our next project then and make our way back to the mics when we're done.
Yeah, you wanna? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Leave them in the dark.
Okay.
You got anything to say?
Nope.
Okay. Then we'll be back, shitters.
See you.
So we actually decided not to watch a third movie because we are just wiped out from watching the fucking Alucard movie. So what I'm going to do while they're getting our next segment set up is I wanted to come in and review a movie I saw a couple days ago, so pardon me if there's some things that I'm forgetting. But I wanted to use this time to review the latest movie in the Venom franchise, Venom: The Last Dance. Venom 3, as I'll probably be referring to it throughout the rest of this. I have probably different thoughts. What was good about letting a little time pass is I got to see a lot of other people's reviews after watching the movie. And man, was I not on the same page as a lot of other people. And this is probably just another review that's going to make people think that my opinions are not good. But that's okay, because they're mine. So a little backstory on the Venom movies to give you a little understanding, because up front I'm going to say I did enjoy Venom: The Last Dance, but, you know, that comes with a little explanation. So when I first saw Venom, the original Venom movie, I'll never forget. I saw it opening night. It was before a bunch of my friends were coming over. I had some time to kill. It's like, let's check this out. Let's see if they do anything good with this. And honestly, I absolutely hated that movie. I did not have a good time. I did not really know what to expect, though, you know, it was a Venom movie without Spider-Man. And as time has gone on, you kind of got to accept that, and I have. So, you know, I saw the movie once. I didn't really go back and watch it again. I worked at a school at that time, and some of my students liked the movie. My one student would do impersonations from the movie really well. So, you know, it was just good to see that other people liked it, but I just didn't. So fast forward a couple years to when me and Momager Miranda started dating, and Let There Be Carnage was coming out. And I'm a superhero movie fan. I'm a nerd. I like Venom. I like, you know, Spider-Man's my man. So anything Spider-Man adjacent, for the most part, minus Morbius and fucking Madam Web. But like, I get excited, and what they had. Andy Serkis directing, I was just like, okay, maybe this one will be better. I'm looking forward to it. I showed Miranda the first movie, and upon a second watch, it's still not a good movie. None of these are good movies, but there was something in me that kind of changed that went, oh, I can enjoy a movie for what it is, even if it's crap, if it's not like absolute dog shit crap. Like Morbius and Madam Web. And Miranda, she pretty much liked the movie. She laughed at the jokes. She liked the action. And sometimes that's all, you know, you really need. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? Turn my brain off type of movie. So I go see the second movie, and yeah, it's also not that great. Relatively short, but it was funny. It has the Eddie Brock and Venom humor. At this point, I'm in for just the ride. And I actually did like that movie. Do I think it's one of the greatest movies of all time? Absolutely not. But for what it is, it's kind of how I view... I try to view things not on the same grading scale, I guess. Like, once I know what we're in for, I can put my expectations a little lower. So we go see the third movie. And, you know... I know what these Venom movies are at this point. I know what to expect. I took an edible. That's another thing for some of these, like, whatever movies. Like, just get high, have fun, watch a movie. So that's what I did. And I think that kind of definitely played a part in me overall enjoying this movie. But I will say this. I did learn something at the movie theater, and that is weed is fine. But do not do heroin before, or not heroin. Yeah, no, heroin. I'd say this guy. So Miranda had somebody sitting next to her that was talking at the movie the whole time. And by the way this guy was speaking, at first I thought he was on cocaine. He then started sounding more like he was on, like, heroin. Definitely really fucked up, but talking at the movie, talking the whole time. And typically a movie can be very much ruined by someone like that. So even with this guy talking almost the whole movie, I still enjoyed the movie. There was a middle portion where I was pretty high, and what he was saying was basically what I was sort of feeling about the movie anyway, so I started agreeing with him, but beginning and end of the movie, I was like, please shut the fuck up. But even with that, I still had fun. So I will start with the plot. I will talk about things I didn't like, because obviously it's a bad movie, but I still had a good time with it. So I'll talk about what was good about it, or what it's about, what was bad about it, and then the things I liked. We'll start with this. So the movie is basically Venom and Eddie are back from their little multiverse traveling in the last movie, in the Spider-Man movie. No cohesion of storyline going on with any of these movies. Nobody's talking to each other. They're just doing things and hoping for the best. Marvel really should have been giving notes to these movies. Whatever. So it starts with them coming back, and Eddie's hungover, and he is running from the police because there's a warrant out for him for killing one of the guys from the last movie. I kind of had to be reminded of that. I've only seen Let There Be Carnage once because, like I said, I had a fun time, but it's not a good movie, so I didn't go out of my way to watch it again. So this guy, he died apparently in the last movie, and Eddie is taking the blame for that. So they're hunting him down, essentially. So he has to escape. He's got to start a new life, and him and Venom decide to go to New York City. So the movie, as you've heard, as you've probably seen, is a road trip movie, I guess, on their way to New York to, you know, try to start anew. But while this is going on, Well, let's talk about the side characters, the not so fun part of the movie. So Juno Temple, or as the guy next to us kept referring to as that Ted Lasso girl. Love that Ted Lasso girl. That's what he said multiple times. Miranda made sure to tell me that. We're introduced to her. She's having a flashback nightmare of the day her brother died. So her and her brother were looking up at the stars. He wanted to be an astronaut, or a NASA scientist, sorry. And they're running home from a storm, and she gets hit by lightning, but they're holding hands, so it goes through her body, kills him. So she's living his dream. Meanwhile, she has like electricity veins on the side of her face. Whatever, you just roll with it. So it cuts to her. She works at Area 51 so they say, but it's actually Area 55. Area 51 is closing. It doesn't really talk about why that's a thing, but it is. And there's an underground base at Area 51 called Area 55, and that's where she works. And what she does is she is part of this underground organization in the government that is studying the symbiotes and trying to bond them to humans successfully. Something like that. This storyline, not good, not fun, was rather bored. There's some times where they go to this B plot line and it lingers just too long for shit that you don't care about. It comes together at the end, I guess, but it's sort of silly. So the people hunting Eddie are also hunting for the symbiote to take it to Area 55, I think. Kind of unclear. Like I said, not the perfect movie, but we'll get through this together. So I don't know. It's her. There's this other scientist girl that works with her, and she's got the guy who quote unquote died in the last movie, and he's like perfectly bonded with a different symbiote, so he's still alive through this guy. Something like that. And then there is the dude from the MCU. That is now in this universe as kind of like an army guy. Don't remember his name. A lot of names I'm not going to be able to give you. Didn't really remember him. So like I said, this is the weaker part of the movie. But luckily, when it goes back to Eddie and Venom, I had a pretty good time. I think Tom Hardy does a great job. They're back and forth with each other is always fun. What more need be said about that? So they're on their way to New York. They hitch a ride on an airplane. And they're hanging off the side of it, and goofy, but you go along with it. And that's when you kind of figure out that Null, the Venom, the symbiote god, he wants to break out of his prison because the symbiotes put him in this prison, and the only way to get free is to get this key that we learn about after they get attacked by this attack dog thing that they send. I can't remember its name. It was pretty cool. I thought the effects on it were, good for these kind of movies. Different than fighting just a symbiote on symbiote. So we kind of had this like spider beast thing that is tracking Eddie down and going to try to kill him, for what we learn about later. So they escape the plane. One thing I thought was funny, typically in these movies, a plane gets attacked, it starts to go down, there's a whole scene of like how to save the plane from going down. Eddie and Venom just fucking dip, and the plane, the monster like flies through the jet or the engine propeller fucking thing, blows that up. So typically you'd be like, oh, this plane is going down, but the movie's just like, who cares? Plane might go down, plane might not go down. Later on, I think there was a throwaway line about the plane landing, but still, it was a while later. I don't even know if that's what I heard. I was going in and out of it by that point. So sorry, a little scattered. So Venom and Eddie get to the ground, and Venom explains like, oh, that's one of Null's attack dogs. He needs this codex thing to unlock Null, who will just basically destroy the universe if he gets free. Oh boy, where's this codex? Well, I'll tell you, it's actually inside Eddie and Venom, because one of the movies Eddie died and Venom brought him back to life, and when a symbiote brings a person back to life, it creates this codex. It's kind of a MacGuffin, but like I said, at this point, I don't care. These movies aren't good movies anyway, so like, whatever. So whenever Venom is in full control of Eddie's body, it kind of lights the beacon that like, oh, this is where the codex is. So as long as they're not completely morphed, the monster thing that's chasing him can't see it. And even though it got ripped apart in the engine of the airplane, it can regenerate. So this attack dog thing has regeneration powers. So then they decide, oh, fuck, well, we got to travel to New York, other means now. So that's when you get the horse scene. The horse scene was pretty cool, but it's essentially what you saw in the trailer. Pretty cool. Venom hops into a frog and a fish at other points during this portion of the movie. Also pretty cool. And yeah, I'm probably forgetting other things. There's a whole scene where like the army guy that works for Area 55 tracks down Eddie, and him and his like elite Marines go in to try to capture him. And there's this whole, I thought it was a pretty good action sequence where like Eddie is separated from Venom and they're trying to capture Venom, and they're trying to kill Eddie or capture Eddie. I'm not really sure, but there's this whole pretty interesting scene. Eddie kills a lady, I think. And it really affects him because, like, usually it's Venom who has done all the killing, but finally Eddie, like, commits his first kill. And I'll get into, like, that kind of stuff as I go a little further into the plot. But the monster, because they have to form back together, like Eddie and Venom. So the monster senses him, comes down, fucking destroys all these army dudes, which I thought was pretty sick. Like, there was a lot of blood in this movie. It was pretty graphic, and I remember the first time you see it, this monster thing like has if you go into its mouth, it can rip you apart and shoot you out the back of its face, and it just would eat these fucking army guys up and shoot them out of the back of its face, and it allowed Venom to kind of get away as it was dealing with all these army guys. And then our main army guy, can't remember his name, like I said, he's from the MCU, from the Doctor Strange movies, and he's just like, oh, fuck, a bunch of my men are dead. We got to capture Eddie for some reason because he learns about this. Oh, that's right. I'm remembering now. So he learns through the guy who didn't die in the last movie, who they're studying in Area 55 with a symbiote, about the null situation and how if Eddie or Venom die, then the Codex doesn't exist. So it'll save the universe. So now he's like, by all means necessary, we got to get this motherfucker, kill Venom, kill Eddie, whatever. We got to stop these things, the attack dog thing and whoever controls them, from coming and destroying the planet. Whew. I'm rambling, but bear with me. And yeah, the movie just kind of continues on from there. Eddie meets this family, this like hippie family that you're kind of, it goes to them back and forth, I think a little before Eddie eventually meets them. So you just got these random clips of this like hippie dad with his like little boy who's just, along for the ride, but a teenage angsty girl who's just kind of over this lifestyle, and then the mom's a hippie too, and they're comedic relief, and I thought they were pretty funny. Where this movie shines for me personally is whenever it tries to be funny with certain things. I definitely laughed. Maybe it's because I was high, but I was having a good time. But eventually Eddie meets up with this family, and I found this part of the movie to be the most compelling portion of the movie. Some people might not. I've seen people online talk about how they didn't, but I really enjoyed this part of the movie. It was just goofy for goofy's sake. Eddie's meeting with this family. They're going to check out Area 51 because it's closing, and they're talking about aliens, and Eddie's like, yeah, dude, I believe in aliens, but he's not going to tell them about Venom. And their dynamic, just like how Eddie and Venom's dynamic is really good, I enjoyed Eddie's dynamic with this random family. He hitches a ride with them and goes as far as they're willing to take him. And yeah, it's kind of a long scene where they're like, what are they? Oh yeah, they're singing oh shit, it's not Rocket Man. Oh my god. Space Oddity by David Bowie. And oh, it's great. It's such a good scene. And it's pretty funny how like the teen girl who doesn't want to be a part, she joins in. The little boy's enjoying the song. Venom is singing in Eddie's head, and Eddie is just completely he's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And yeah, I don't know. I was cracking up during this part, and so was the dude that was talking to me in the movie theater. So whether you like this scene or not, I enjoyed it. So then the movie, because it's a bad movie, it's all over the place with like how it wants you to feel, the atmosphere, the tone of this movie. But I went along with whenever it wanted to be serious, whatever. Whenever it wanted to be funny, wherever. This part of the movie I really enjoyed because the movie itself is showing you Eddie Brock is a bit of a mess. And, you know, we've seen that in the first movie. We've seen it certainly in the second movie. It's really apparent in this one. He's hung over the whole time. So that's also part of it. But he's disheveled. He's kind of falling apart with living with Venom the way he has been for, I don't think it's been a long time in canon, but whatever. So he has this moment with the little boy who's like afraid of aliens, and he tells him aliens don't exist. He's trying to make this kid feel better. And Venom is like, you would have made a good dad. And at this point, Eddie thinks that him and Venom are going to be together forever. And this is when I started kind of looking into the movie. It lets Eddie kind of like focus on his life, focus on where his life might be going. And I thought it was interesting because at the beginning of the first movie, Eddie's got it going on. Like, Eddie is engaged to Anne, I think her name is, Michelle Williams' character. He's got a great gig in San Francisco. I think he got kicked out of New York. I can't really remember, but life is going pretty well for him in the first movie. And then it just fucking gets so bad, and it just keeps getting worse. And then he connects with Venom, and it just kind of gets worse. Like, the ability for him to live a normal life. And in this movie, I mean, they don't go into it enough like they could have, but you start to see like Eddie is noticing these, like, oh yeah, I used to be able to have this kind of great life, and now this is my life, running from the police, getting hunted by monsters. I'm hungover, I'm disheveled. He's losing his shoes the whole movie. I enjoyed that bit. He never really had his he would keep getting new pairs of shoes, and they would make a point to show you how he lost his shoes again. I thought that was funny. But he's just kind of like focusing on this little boy, focusing out onto the universe, or out in the world. And I don't know, I wish we could have got more of that, but I'm glad I saw it at least a little bit that I did. And maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but the movie tried to do this sense of like, here's a man whose life went from great to just a mess, and he doesn't really know where it's gonna go, if it's ever gonna be as good as it used to be, or if he'll ever not be this disheveled wreck of a man anymore. And it kind of leaves it at that. Like I said, my favorite part of the movie was him with this family as they drive him to Las Vegas. You do get to New York, but the movie really sets you up like, oh, they're going to New York, but they never quite get there. This is where I started to kind of have some issues with the movie overall, other than like the B plot line being very boring and very bleh. So Eddie gets to Las Vegas. He separates from the hippie family. They have a nice little send-off. He tries to go into they need to make some more money to get the rest of the way. So he's got like $20 to his name. He's going to go gambling to get the money. There's a funny little scene where he tries to go into the casino. They tell him there's a dress code. He's been in a fucking Hawaiian t-shirt the whole movie. No shoes, disheveled. So Venom basically knocks out a guy, takes his clothes. Eddie's suited up. I enjoyed this scene. I like seeing Eddie not a mess. And they gamble all their money, and they lose it immediately because Venom's got a gambling addiction. You can take that or leave it. And then Mrs. Chen just happens to be there from the first two movies, and Venom is hell-bent on dancing with her, so we could get the scene from the trailer where they're dancing, which, once again, the trailer showed a lot of cool scenes that I wish they wouldn't have. Not that the dancing scene's cool, but like the horse scene probably would have hit harder if it wasn't in the ad. And then the dancing scene, because all it was that was in the ad. Fuck, I'm sorry about that. You know, it's just whatever. But my problem with the scene is Venom needs to dance with Mrs. Chen. So what this means is he has to become Venom. So Venom has to take over the body, which signals the codex. And they dance. There's this whole dance scene, but it's just like, up until this point, Venom is like stressing that we can't let them find the codex. We can't go into our full form, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, oh, to dance with Mrs. Chen, he'll do it. And it's just like, ooh, talk about, I don't really like talking about contrivances too much, but like, that was super contrived. Now, I can't really exactly remember how this scene played out, because I'm pretty sure he activates it. The monster comes. It's like, holy fuck. But also the army people get notified of him as well. I can't remember how it all happens, but basically while they're dancing, the army fucking drops in, separates Eddie and Venom. I think the monster comes in and attacks, and there's a whole little situation with them. Mrs. Chen's okay, but the army gets a hold of Eddie and Venom separately and takes them to Area 55. And that's where the rest of the movie kind of plays out. Which, once again, I put my guard down for this movie. It doesn't need to be the best fucking film of all time. The other two certainly wouldn't. So I was just along for the ride at this point. But I thought the end, the third act, was pretty fun. Was pretty good. Once like the B plot line and Eddie came together, it made the B plot line less boring. So Eddie ends up in the jail. He meets the dude from the last movie who's now a symbiote. I don't know which one. It's green, snake-like. And it kind of tells him, it gives him like a heads up of what's going on. The army people come in. They're like, I'm going to kill Eddie because they know if they kill Eddie, the codex will go away. And then Eddie gets shot. But they had some Venom goo that was left behind. Oh, wait. Nope. I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry. When one of the scientists, not the Juno Temple scientist, but the other girl, she knows that there's some tomfuckery going on here. So she gets Venom, and Venom goes in her body secretively. So when Eddie gets popped by the dude from the MCU, Venom jumps into Eddie's body and saves him, and he's back. And at that point, all the monsters... Okay, so the monster thing tracks him down and comes to the Area 55 base. Meanwhile, the hippie family, they're like, yo, Area 51's closing tomorrow. Let's go check it out. And they just kind of sneak into Area 51, totally unguarded. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? So they're there too. They're sneaking in. It's pretty quiet at first. They come in while like all the other shit's happening. But then, like I said, Venom comes, the monster shows up, the family's in danger, and all of the scientists that work for Area 55 bond with Venom symbiotes, and it's just a big symbiote fighting this monster. God, I wish I knew its name. For the rest of the movie, it's just that. And, it's fun. It was fine. It was action. We know what the context is, so it's not just action for action's sake. It's just like, hey, you've waited this whole movie for a Venom battle. Here it is. So Eddie's trying to save this family. I'm just along for the ride at this point. It's your classic Venom ending. Big battle. The only difference is by the end, the null guy gets enough power to send a fuck ton of these things. So we've only been fighting one the whole movie. And then like 10 or 15, not really sure how many, a bunch show up, a handful of these things. And they just start kicking ass. Many of the Venom symbiotes get killed, or the Venom... the symbiotes, they all get killed with the scientists that they have become one with, and they're all very different. I kind of like okay, not very different, but each one has like a different ability. I'm sure if I looked into like who they were supposed to be, I would understand. But once again, just going with the action. I know the movie's almost over, just rolling with it. What else happens? Oh, at the beginning of the movie, they're showing at Area 51 that they have this acid shit that can just melt fucking anything. It's a real quick, like, here's this thing. It's just a test scene. Who cares? They don't talk about it for the rest of the movie. So, Venom finally decides that the only way to stop this thing is that the Codex needs to die. So him and Eddie are kind of having this talk as if like, yeah, Eddie's might be the one that has to sacrifice himself, but then Venom just goes full just symbiote giant Venom monster form and just is able to absorb all the monsters all at once. And he puts them right. He puts them all in his body, puts Eddie in a fucking like a door to hold him while this next thing happens. But he goes to the acid thing that like they kind of explain when you see it in the original movie that there's nothing that can survive this acid. So Venom goes under it, sacrifices himself, and kills himself and all the fucking monster things. Something causes the whole place to just explode. I'm sorry. Like I said, I saw it a few days ago, so I'm just trying to remember everything. The main army guy from the MCU, he took some damage. You kind of win him over at some point, so he's not a bad guy anymore. The other girl that's not the Juno Temple character, her symbiote, she bonds with somebody at some point and like has a bunch of blades and shit, but like that symbiote sacrificed itself to save her at another point in the movie, so she's on the ground as like shit's starting to explode. She's about to die. Finally, the Ted Lasso girl, love that Ted Lasso girl, as my girlfriend's neighbor said, she bonds with, I think she has some of Venom's goo from the beginning of the movie where Venom leaves a little bit of goo at the bar that he's at. I might not have even told you about that, but that happened. And it bonds with her, but she has the electricity, so she has like Venom super speed, so she's able to, it's the whole payoff for that whole storyline, which once again could have been done better, but also once again don't care. Whew, she zips, grabs the girl, gets out of there. She's safe. Eddie survives from the explosion. He wakes up in the hospital where some guy, I don't know if we're supposed to know this army guy from a different point in the movie or one of the other movies. He comes in, he's just basically like, hey, for saving the world, for you and Venom saving the world, we're going to wipe your record clean. You have a new life ahead of you, but don't tell anybody what happened or we're going to be coming for you. So Eddie is giving this pass to live his life, and he's free of Venom, but he's sad. He misses Venom. The ending, I feel like if a guy wasn't talking the whole movie, I think would have hit a little more. He ends up getting to New York, seeing the whole movie. Venom wants to see the Statue of Liberty, but he doesn't get to because he's dead. And they kind of let him be dead. Like the movie ends, post-credit scenes are stupid, so I'm not even going to talk about those. But it lets him be dead, which I thought was kind of nice. Now, the post-credit scene might say that he's not, but at the same time, I can't really tell you what those post-credit scenes really said anyway. So that happened. I hope I explained the plot really well. I tried to talk about the things I liked and didn't like. I'm used to kind of talking with somebody, so I hope I didn't ramble too much, but I think I covered everything. Overall, dumb movie, great movie. You know, I watch it with the expectation that I don't give a whole lot of other movies, and because of that, I'm able to have fun. And this movie provided me with the fun. It made me laugh. It was growing on the characters that I already liked. It tried to make people think deeper, and luckily it did, like upon Eddie's life, and luckily I think it worked for me in that aspect. So of the Venom movies, I'd have to watch the second one again, but I'd say it's my favorite of three movies that are just like meh, movies that are just popcorn flicks for fun. Venom: The Last Dance, Venom 3, probably my favorite one. I'd watch it again. I had a good time with it, and ultimately, for these kind of movies, that is what I'm here for. And I'll say this: I definitely had more fun watching Venom: The Last Dance than I did watching The Son of Dracula. Yikes. So I rambled on a little longer than I thought. I'm going to assume my friends are ready to carve pumpkins. I've kind of been putting them off for a while, so I'm going to jump off, and then we'll be back with the whole crew to finish off whatever we have planned for this Halloween special. Ta-ta!
Wow.
So we decided that it would be best to, instead of watching another movie because the day is getting old and we are getting tired,
Go to bed, yeah.
we decided to do a little pumpkin carving together as friends. Kind of woke us up a little. Gave us some energy to kind of carry on.
Yeah.
And
Listen to some awful music.
we got listened to some really awful
Son
music.
of Dracula just took me out.
Yeah, it
I'm
really.
still out.
If you listened before this, we didn't like it, and it really fucking killed the vibe and the mood, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But we decided to carve pumpkins together instead, and I want to just kind of go around and
So fun.
talk about everybody's pumpkins and what we all made, and have a little fun time with it.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Definitely, Braden. Let's see
Yeah.
yours again.
What are we gonna name them?
I'm gonna also put the picture of our pumpkins on Instagram. So if you want to see what our pumpkins look like, follow us on Instagram.
So this is Les.
Les.
Short for Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
And he is our special little man.
Boy, I thought it was a girl.
Yeah.
Boy,
He's got a little
that.
loose tooth there that he's gonna lose here
Okay.
soon. And
Yeah. You think it'll make the drive home?
nope.
Sick. Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
And
but,
Halloween.
Yeah, it was good. I haven't carved pumpkins in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you turn a little closer so I can see him a little better? No.
Nope.
I like that he's got kind of like big old dopey eyes
Yep,
too.
he's a little special. He's a little fun little guy.
Fun
What
little
would
guy.
the word be?
Special and fun are the words Braden's gone to describe his little pumpkin child.
Yeah.
Nice.
He looks good,
He's
though.
cute.
Did you base him after anybody? Was there any
Myself.
inspiration? Yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. I could see that.
You nailed that one tooth.
Yep.
You
Thank
did
yeah.
nail that
Yeah.
one. I would not take that kind of risk. I did not take that
I'm
kind
well
of
known
risk.
for only having one tooth.
Yeah, yeah. They used to call you old one-tooth Brady.
Old one-tooth Neil.
Old one-tooth Neil.
Yeah.
Give him the old one-tooth.
I hope your tooth survives the ride home.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's no one that ties a string to it and ties the other end to a door
And then drives away.
and
yeah.
drives away. Yeah, that would probably not be good.
I heard the tooth fairy doesn't even bother coming if that's how you got your tooth out.
Really.
Or at least gives you gypsy on the money. So it's possible. Cool, man.
The tooth fairy only wants ethically sourced teeth. Doesn't want any exploitation of having to pull your own teeth.
No, not like that. Not by that. If you need a car to pull your tooth out, then it wasn't ready to come out. I
Yeah.
would say
I did pull some of my teeth out
Yeah.
when they were ready to fall.
when
like
they
they
were ready to
loose.
fall.
did
Yeah,
that once.
you didn't attach it to a car
No.
or like a door.
No,
You
I would just like
played with
I
it
would
till
wiggle it
came
with
out.
my tongue a lot until it
Right.
would come out.
Same. I still do it and sort of wait for it to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for it to come back.
All right. Well, good. Braden, what do you want for Halloween this year?
Candy.
Okay.
I guess.
I hope you get it.
Yeah.
I hope you get some.
Gonna watch The Nightmare Before Christmas.
We didn't. What?
We're gonna watch The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Christmas
Well, like after you go
The
home
Christmas
tonight,
movie, The
we're
Nightmare
gonna
Before
watch
Christmas?
that
Yeah.
Because it's Halloween tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Sick, dude. Nice.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is
man, time is
Halloween night.
fleeting.
Time is fleeting.
Yeah, we haven't watched that yet, so this is our last chance to be able to watch it on
before
Halloween.
Halloween's over.
So you can't watch it in November. Well, I guess you can. 'cause
You can watch it
it's
in
movie,
Christmas
but
or you can watch it in Halloween. You only watch it in Thanksgiving time.
if Thanksgiving is referenced. Yep. There's a turkey tree. There's a tree with a little turkey on it. That's the
Oh,
Thanksgiving tree.
Okay. Whatever. Okay, you've made your point. Who wants to go next with their pumpkin? It's you.
I just
Because it's not me.
I just did a ghost face.
Oh, that's really good.
Ghostface
Oh,
Killer.
thanks.
That looks really, really
I kept it
good.
simple.
Spooky. Looks like the Scream mask.
It is.
It does. Wow, you
No,
really
it-
worked those. Well.
There's no candle in it.
Oh boy, Sam.
Oh, Sam's interrupting my sharing
Sam
time.
just finally walked
You're gonna
into the
trip
room.
on one of these wires.
Spooky Sam has a pretty sick
It's
a
pumpkin.
pretty cool
It's
one.
peanut butter jelly time.
As we just talk
This
over.
is cute. This is cute.
This is pretty sick. So Sam, describe.
I do have epilepsy. so-
Describe your pumpkin
Just
to the
kidding.
shitters. You might need the microphone a little closer.
It's the peanut butter jelly time banana.
It is the peanut butter jelly time
It
banana.
looks really
and
good.
It's carved beautifully,
Very
Sam.
sexual.
And he's got a disco ball in there of some sort of strobe light disco ball effect.
That's cool.
Sam, you have the coolest one. No
Sam
offense to
definitely
anybody.
would.
I didn't even
Yeah.
get time to share all of my
Actually,
thoughts.
babe, I haven't seen yours. I haven't seen yours.
Yeah, I want to see Miranda's.
Momager Miranda is now showing us her pumpkin.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. It took me a little time to like
Whoa.
notice that.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
That's
You
also
got some
pretty.
tight
How did you
little,
guys
like,
learn how to?
pumpkin in his hand.
So Miranda has drawn like a, what would you say that is? Like a pumpkin jester kind of character. It's like a man holding a.
It's like a pumpkin
You
Hamlet
carved a little pumpkin into your pumpkin,
holding a pumpkin.
holding a pumpkin. That's actually pretty good too.
Pumpkinception.
He's so cute.
Sam,
It was a experiment.
I will say, though I also think your banana is amazing. I only like it more because it's got the disco lights.
You're
If you-
cheating.
If you didn't put disco lights in it, I think that would be the winner of like best looking.
I was doing so
Yep.
well.
That's pretty well.
Not mine?
Well carved.
Did
Not
you see mine?
I like
love yours
yours.
too.
I
Yours
like
is
yours.
really good.
we worked really hard on
did
it.
it.
Yeah, I
Very
know.
good.
Dude, mine doesn't look like theirs either. I haven't even gone into. We
Yeah,
kind of
what's-
breezed
what's
over
yours?
yours.
I like yours. Yours is very cute.
So
Thank you.
yeah, yours is cute. So mine, I just kind of made a very sort of basic. I gave it like the Pokemon triangle, which kind of Charizard eyes, Charizard Mewtwo.
Yeah.
So that was kind of that's how I draw. I'm not a
looks
great.
like Jack Skellington.
It looks
I don't-
like he's gumming.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't
like,
draw a whole
He doesn't
lot.
have tooth.
I'm not good at it, but Pokemon eyes are kind of my when I draw like anime characters. I do these triangle eyes, so I kind of went with
Big
that
obtuse
design.
triangle.
Yeah, and then I just gave him like a big. You can see I drew lines to make the teeth a little more sharp and noticeable, but my carving ability is nothing like you guys is. Jesus fuck. So I couldn't. Still. Still, I don't even think if I had a stencil,
Yeah, we could stencil.
I could have done that.
I can't follow the lines.
I can't.
Well with
I
the
didn't
knife.
follow my dude. My pumpkin looks cool.
I
But
like
it would
that
look a
he's
lot
got-
cooler if there wasn't black Sharpie. Like I didn't follow the lines
I love
at
the
all.
pumpkin strands that are still coming down. It gives him like like
Yeah, I
a
didn't
rotted
completely
brain
clean him
look.
out, but yeah,
He's
yeah,
cool.
That's what I
He's
thought
cool.
too. Thank you. It's a basic look, but I'm glad it went. I haven't carved pumpkins in a very long time, so I wasn't sure if I could
I'm
still
glad we were able to
do it well.
You were
yeah.
right that the best feature is the stem.
Yeah, like mine's
His
got
curly,
the curly
cute
Q
top
stem.
gives him a real.
Yeah, it gives him some care. Like I said, I based that after my child. My son has like curly little cues that this made me think of. So Sora.
Are you gonna take that home and show him what his pumpkin version looks like?
Yeah.
Looks just like
He'll see it tomorrow. He'll be like, "Is that me?" Sora loves looking at himself in the mirror, so he'll crawl up on this pumpkin and be like, "What am I doing out here?" Especially the evil eyes. No, he's a good boy. But yeah,
it was fun.
that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. So sorry we couldn't get another movie.
Yeah,
in,
it's
but
such a shame these people have to go back to work tomorrow.
this day really did just fly by. But I think we got quite a bit, and we did a lot of fun things. And like I said, if you want to see our pumpkins, we'll take a quick picture before we leave of our pumpkins. And if you follow the Instagram page, you can see our pumpkins.
You'll want to follow and subscribe.
Yeah,
to
I put so
Patreon.
much cool stuff
Yeah.
on there.
For sure.
There we go. We're doing all the things. Yep. So, I mean, that's the Halloween special, gang. Thank you once again.
I'm sure
you.
Creature from the Black Marsh
Black
was
Lagoon.
very good.
We'll try to hit it up another time. Yeah. He's... So, but, we'll get there. But that was a fantastic another Halloween special. I love coming
Certainly
here and doing
was.
fun little
Well,
things with you guys.
We love having you,
You
in
treated
our,
us to a
our
great
spooky
day.
little, our spooky little home.
Yeah, it is. It's such a vibe here for the spooky season. I wouldn't want to have spent Halloween anywhere else.
Nope.
Yep. And was that? Did you hear the doorbell ring just now?
I think the trick-or-treaters are here.
Oh wait, hang on. I think
We gotta get up for
I'm gonna
that.
go check, and I'm gonna see. I'll let him know that there's no candy left. Okay.
Don't forget to put your
And
costume back
if
on.
I don't come back in approximately 10 seconds, send somebody else in after me. Okay.
Okay.
And then somebody else.
Should we put our costumes
No,
back
it's
on?
okay. I'm just gonna. Yep. There's the doorbell
still been in
again.
my
Did you hear it?
Yeah, go get them some
All
candy.
right, I'm gonna go get them some candy.
All
Here,
right, see you,
maybe
Sam.
they'll take some blueberries.
Maybe
Here.
they will take some boobies. Thanks, Sam. See ya.
See ya, Sam.
So 10 seconds, he said.
Yep. So what do you want to talk about for 10
So,
seconds?
well, I'm just going to keep going on about, you can find us on Spotify.
Yeah.
And you can email us in at nerdshitinthedark@gmail.com and tell us some shit to watch.
Find
and
us
talk
at our
about.
addresses at 1-5.
Nope. Yeah, you can come and get our Halloween candy. Somebody should probably go check on Sam, see if Sam's okay. He went to go check on those trick-or-treaters.
Nose goes.
And it's been past 10 seconds. Nose goes? Oh, shit.
Ha.
So it's got to be me?
Yep.
All right. Okay, shitters, I'm going to go check on the candy and the kids. So good night, sleep tight, and don't let the shit bugs bite. Braden, see ya.
Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the shitbugs bite. Is what? Wait, am I not signing off yet? I guess he left. So yeah, that was the show. Bye.
The mic-